So I guess Myles Garrett today was asked about Baker Mayfield. I'm reading Tony Grossi's tweets here. And Tony Grossi, Myles Garrett commenting on Baker Mayfield without mentioning his name. People come and go. And this is one of those things. I hope the best for him. I hope he moves on. He does well for himself. I never wish ill on anyone who I've been up against or played with. He's going to land on his feet. He's played well when he's healthy. When he's healthy, he can do some pretty good things for a team. Just has to find his niche again. I think he has to prove himself, has to get healthy. I think it worked out for both. So talking about Baker Mayfield in the past tense in Cleveland, no shocker. Another accuser for Deshaun. You know what it made me think? I go back to when we had Greg Papa on, and he said he kind of said that he thinks the door on Jimmy Garoppolo to the Browns is not totally closed.
I thought it was nuts. I truly believe that he's going to get a 17-game suspension. That Deshaun Watson is going to be suspended for the season. And Jacoby Brissett is just not good. If Jacoby Brissett starts 17 games, the Cleveland Browns will not be in the playoffs. Now, I'd have to look at their cap situation. Now, obviously, the Niners probably work with them. I guess if they got rid of Baker, they could clear $18 million. But if they're not able to trade him and had to cut him, they'd have to eat that money. I do not believe that the Browns could make it happen if they have to eat Baker's Mayfield $18 million. Most teams couldn't, right? That's a large, especially when your entire team's under. Like the Browns team exists. Like they're paying a lot of guys. You know, they got, you know, the hell. I know Deshaun doesn't make that much this year, but they got a lot of guys under contract at large numbers. So yeah. I think they would have to be able to get rid of Baker, which I do not see where he's going. Because the one thing you would say is that you can say whatever you want about Jimmy Garoppolo. There is no one, not a soul, that's saying a bad thing about the person. His greatest thing he's got going for him is like knows all the offenses and great guy, right? Love to have him around. Teammates love him. Coaches can drive him nuts with his play, but they like the guy. Baker feels like someone's trading $18 million for the way these guys, like, I would say if I was like John Schneider, like, yeah, can we get him for like $4 million? Like, why am I, and Seattle's not Mr. Character, but with the quarterback.
Yeah. So I don't know, man. Nate on the stream says Jimmy for Jacoby Brissett and a pick. The problem is if you got Jimmy, you would still want Jacoby Brissett because you might need a backup for 3 games, right? Because Garoppolo's been hurt. I do think the thing with Cleveland, good roster.
It'd be a good spot
coach.
for Jimmy.
I think if you're Jimmy, you would take a pay cut to go play there.
Try to resurrect your career?
Well, it's just the Niners are going to cut you. Now, maybe if you're him, you're like, well, cut me, then I'll go to Cleveland and I'll just sign with them. Whatever. It doesn't make a difference to me.
Which that might happen too.
Could happen too. But the thing is, Cleveland might not be able to wait. Right? The Niners, if they were going to cut Garoppolo, would not do it until right before the season. And Cleveland may not be able to wait until that point in time to do it. So they might. This is a situation where I think a team like the Browns, I think, would trade for Jimmy and give him another year on his contract and somehow restructure it.
I think they would try to get him to do the restructure before he went. Maybe go like, cut your contract by half and we'll incentivize it up to that number.
They might try.
How would you give him 2 years when you just paid a guy $230 million?
Yeah, he's not on your team next year, but you're moving some money around where some of it's going to count against your cap next year and you'll deal with it later. It's not to actually have him on your team in 2023. It's just you add a year to somehow move some funny money around.
Well, you might look at it too, like what if you get him and do that what you're saying? What if he leads you to the playoffs? All of a sudden, Jimmy's been in the playoffs with multiple teams. Like
now you can trade him.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe you can get more than the 4th you give the Niners, but
remember, they traded a lot of picks to old Houston.
That's true.
Obviously, those are 1st and 2nd round picks, but
that's true. But anyway, there's a world where Jimmy Garoppolo gets traded to the Browns and agrees to play for $13 million, or I don't know what the number would have to be for that. Maybe it's, I don't know, but
what if like you did something like that?
Because I'm with you. I think Deshaun is getting suspended for. I think the whole year is definitely in play.
What if you did something like every game we win you're the starting quarterback, it's like a $750,000 bonus, so it could add up quick to like
we give you 50% of the ticket sales.
We give you all the hot dog revenue.
Have you heard of Zenny, Jimmy? He's like, yeah, they don't pay enough. Subway, $1 million.
Yeah, we give you all the proceeds from the barbecue beef sandwiches we sell.
Like, think about the crazy situation that had to result in the Colts and the Browns getting off the table for Garoppolo. When we sit here and we're like, how is a team going to need Jimmy? It's like, well, who saw Deshaun on the Browns and Matt Ryan on the Colts before that happened? Crazy things happen.
Who would have saw, like, in Christmas, Wentz being on the football team?
Wentz being on the football team.
Honestly, that to me, once that kind of came out of nowhere, yeah, it's just, if you would have told me Deshaun Watson, we knew he was going to get traded, not a soul would have said the Cleveland Browns, right?
No.
3 months ago or whatever. You're right. It was all the Jimmy teams all had the craziest shit happen for him, and they're sitting in this spot.
The league does not care at all that Deshaun just missed a year. The league is not. They're not Robert. They've punished Robert Kraft before. They are not going to hesitate to punish Jimmy Haslam. And again, the Browns, the contract the contract they gave him tells us what the Browns think. They think he's getting suspended. They're paying him $1 million this year. Right? Isn't that the number?
Yeah, $1 million.
What more information do we need? The Browns think he's getting suspended, and it's getting worse.